Brooke, everybody, especially everyone out here in Hollywood, loves a good comeback story.
Yeah, for sure. I love them.
Yeah.
And everybody.
Yeah. Who doesn't love somebody coming back from behind? That's literally what that means. Now, the thing is, we haven't seen much of former daytime queen Wendy Williams lately, even though she has made her share of headlines regarding her health and finances.
Yeah.
But now she is front and center in a new Lifetime documentary that's called Where is Wendy Williams?
Yeah. Now, the filmmakers wanted to document Wendy's comeback story, but after filming started, things kind of took an unexpected turn, and it all played out on camera.
This whole story is just very sad and depressing.
It really is. Yeah.
Get ready, Richies. From Wondery, I'm Arisha Skidmore-Williams.
And I'm Brooke Siffrin. It's Tuesday, February 27th.
And you're listening to Rich and Daily. So Wendy Williams used to rule the airwaves as one of the queens of daytime television, thanks to the success of her own talk show. Mm-hmm. But back in 2022, the Wendy Williams show was canceled, and she basically kind of slipped out of the spotlight so that she could deal with personal problems and some pretty serious health issues.
Yeah.
She's wrestled with the autoimmune disorder Graves' disease, as well as lymphedema, which is a result of a compromised lymphatic system. Yeah. I have a couple of people that aren't like officially in my family, but are basically in my family who deal with lymphedema, and it's just awful.
I know.
I can't imagine.
I mean, they like pretty much at the beginning of this docuseries, they show like her feet, which are most affected, and it looks very painful.
Yeah, and it's just all the time. Yeah, my one family member, they're literally always in compression socks because you have to just constantly. But, those two things are a lot, and yet it's not enough to deal with, apparently, because things have gotten even worse for Wendy, this poor person. My God.
I know. So on Thursday, Wendy's care team shared a press release announcing that she's been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia and aphasia. And the statement said, over the past few years, questions have been raised at times about Wendy's ability to process information, and many have speculated about Wendy's condition, particularly when she began to lose words, act erratically at times, and have difficulty understanding financial transactions. Now, the statement went on to say that she was diagnosed last year after undergoing a battery of medical tests, and said aphasia is a condition affecting language and communication abilities, and frontotemporal dementia, a progressive disorder impacting behavior and cognitive functions, have already presented significant hurdles in Wendy's life. It also said that Wendy is still able to do many things for herself, and that she maintains her trademark sense of humor and is receiving the care she requires to make sure she is protected and that her needs are addressed. So on Friday, Wendy actually followed up with a statement of her own, and she said, "I have immense gratitude for the love and kind words I have received after sharing my diagnosis. I continue to need personal space and peace to thrive. Please just know that your positivity and encouragement are deeply appreciated."
Now, we got to talk about the timing of these statements. Yeah. So Wendy's team released their statement on Thursday, and then, like we said, Wendy released this statement on Friday. But then over the weekend, Lifetime dropped a 4-hour docuseries called Where is Wendy Williams? Now, reportedly, the purpose of the documentary was to chronicle Wendy's comeback, but the narrative changed as things took a turn for the worse for her.
Yeah, so during the documentary, it becomes clear that Wendy is showing signs of cognitive decline. She's increasingly agitated. She's super demanding of the people around her. And in a lot of the scenes, she does seem kind of confused about what's going on or where she is. And she does struggle a lot with her memory. She also struggles with drinking. This comes up a lot during the docuseries. So Wendy has opened up in the past about her substance abuse and alcoholism, and she has been in treatment for it. But in the docuseries, she does continue to drink. She talks about it a lot, and it kind of upsets her family and her inner circle. Like, her manager is there a lot, and you can just tell, like, people don't really know how to deal with it, because she is a big personality, it's hard to be very like, big, yeah. Nope, give us that. So throughout the docuseries, Wendy does become more and more difficult to reason with, and her behavior does get more and more erratic. And in one scene, Wendy snaps at her publicist for not getting the right brand of e-cigarette.
Excuse me, I said the blue. This is so big.
Okay, so we're gonna.
I have no idea where we are.
So Wendy, we're gonna get out of the car because the guys have to wrap.
Okay.
We'll get out over here on this side. Let Wendy stay
late.
there. You have permission to cut this for a second?
I can't do it. I'm calling Will. What's that? Okay.
Why don't we order in some liquor?
Right after that, the girl that's in the front seat, Wendy's like, what do you like, champagne? And the girl's like, yeah, because you can, like, I don't think she knows how to deal with it. I think, you know, it's probably tough for everybody around her, you know?
Yeah. I mean, just compounding struggling with alcoholism with cognitive decline is just gotta be
tough.
Yeah, tough. So even though we now know that Wendy's dealing with aphasia and dementia, it's barely mentioned in the doc. At one point, her son, Kevin Hunter Jr., mentions on camera that doctors diagnosed his mom with alcohol-induced dementia while she was living with him in Miami in 2021. In the doc, he says, doctors basically said that because she was drinking so much, it was starting to affect her headspace and her brain.
Yeah, the documentary then reveals that this is the first time dementia had been mentioned during production, and then no further information was given about it. But some experts do seem divided on the cause of Wendy's dementia. So Dr. Leah Kroll, who's a neurologist from Temple University, was on Good Morning America, and she said there is no evidence to directly link alcohol and frontotemporal dementia. So about 40% of frontotemporal cases are genetic, and the other 60% of the time, we're not really sure why it happens. But according to the Alzheimer's Society in the UK, they said there is enough evidence to support that excessive drinking can increase a person's risk of developing dementia. So I don't know what we're supposed to believe.
I mean, I feel like common sense would suggest that there has to be, because alcohol notoriously chips away at your body.
Right.
Like extended use over an extended period of time. So 60% of not knowing where it comes from, I think it's safe to say alcohol is a contributing factor, at least.
Absolutely. I would agree with you.
So maybe I should be the doctor.
Aren't you already?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right. Silly thing for me to say. I already am.
Yeah.
So, Brooke, one of the ironies here is that the docuseries is called Where is Wendy Williams? But we don't actually know where she is.
Yeah.
Now, there are rumors that she's in a treatment center, but even her family doesn't know where that center is or even what kind of a facility it is, which seems very kind of scary if you're, if my family member was in the state that Wendy is in, I would absolutely want to know where they are at all times.
Yeah.
So it's weird that her family doesn't know. What do you think about this?
Well, I didn't realize this was a 4-part series because I started it yesterday, and they, her son and her nephew both get interviewed, and they are talking about like her drinking and her health a little bit. And like we said, like she goes to Miami to live with her son, and he's like, her nephew actually said she seemed better when she was in Miami. And then like the court ordered for her to be like have a guardian or whatever, and they just took her away from her son. And they were like, they didn't have any control over it. And I was like, that's sad. And that's got to be really hard. Like, I don't know. She seems to have a little bit of a tough relationship right now with her son. Just this is all based on the first episode that I saw. There's so much going on, but I just think it's really sad to see, and it's really sad to watch. And Ross was watching it with me, and he was like, my God, like what is with her attitude, And I was like, well, he didn't know that she had been diagnosed with dementia. And so I was like, very recently she was diagnosed with this. And so her erratic behavior does seem in line with that. But if you didn't know that watching this, you would just, it'd be really confusing. And it's just really sad to watch. And a lot of people I know are mad about, they think it's kind of exploiting her a little bit. And
exploitative,
I don't necessarily disagree with that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, is she in a frame of mind to consent to this?
Right, I know.
Like, is she in the right frame of mind? And it's just, this stuff is just it can be so triggering for anybody who's dealt with a family member or a loved one going through mental decline, or somebody who's going through with a family member who's going through alcohol abuse or alcohol misuse issues. And it's just, combining these two things, I feel so much for everybody that has to be around her, and also Wendy. Like she's
Yeah.
always been such a her personality has always been, I'll cut you if I need to.
Yeah.
And I love it. You know, I try to emulate that. But that's a hard mix when you throw in potential dementia, alcohol, substance issues. Like it's a very depressing watch. This whole story, I mean, every time Wendy has been in the news lately, it's been just sad. It's hard to watch that stuff happen.
This docuseries gives me anxiety because, like, you know, I mean, we talk about this all the time, how, like, worried about our own health we are. And I'm like, I think about it sometimes, like, getting older and, like, I don't have kids, you know? Like, who's going to take care of me? And I told Ross, I was like, we're going to have to stay together even if we can't stand each other someday because we got to take care of each other. And he's like, wow, so romantic. But, like,
I'll
it's
take
true.
care of you. We can drive off a cliff, Bonnie and Clyde style.
Okay.
Are they the ones that drove off a cliff? Yeah.
Thelma and Louise.
Oh, Thelma and Louise. Louise
That's
style.
more us than Bonnie and Clyde, yeah.
Yeah, Thelma and Louise. Yeah, I have the same. That's why I do a crossword puzzle every day. That's how I ward off dementia.
Uh-huh.
That's a trick doctors won't tell you.
They don't want you to know.
They don't want you to know this one thing
Big
a day.
crossword puzzle is in Arisha's ear, though.
Yeah. And I am their puppet, and I'm okay with it because I'm warding off dementia.
Exactly, yeah.
From Wondery, I'm Arisha Skidmore-Williams.
And I'm Brooke Sifrin. This is Rich and Daily.
See you tomorrow, Richies.
If you like our show, please follow us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you're listening right now.
Be sure to follow us on all socials at Arisha Skidmore-Williams and at Brooke Sifrin. We love to connect with you.